Hey, what's going on? I'm just gonna do a little channel here on some of the things that we're doing to update an old house. We got a house built in the 1820s, and doing some stuff that you probably won't normally run into, but those people out there in the internet world who have similar issues trying to figure out some of these problems. Hopefully, this little channel will help them. So this little episode here is basically looking at what we're gonna do to bring two floors that are different heights. You got the one floor on this side where you can see the new-ish wood, and then the floor on this side, which is much older. This part of the building is like 1820s, and this part's 1940s. And you can actually see here, so that is the post and beam hand-hewn structure, the original structure of the house. And you can see some of the joinery in there. The problem is when we brought the two floors together and took the wall out that was originally between them, there's a pretty big gap as far as height. So we have to kind of ramp up. The way to do this, if you wanted everything to be perfectly flush and smooth, is you'd rip up the entire subfloor, you'd re-level all the joists, everything would get straightened out, you put a new floor down, a new subfloor, a new floor, and everything would be perfectly flush and it would look great. That's pretty massive, and we live here, so we can't do that. Plus, we didn't really want to throw away a ton of good oak. So, you know, we're good with the bow and the floor that exists. Everything's very stable. Everything's been framed in and supported correctly now. But to make that transition, you could put a strip of wood that just has a curve on it and kind of have like a little ramp, or you can use these guys. These are called carpet shims. And this is an extreme example, but you can see we're going from this new area through a couple different pieces of wood. This is actually a transition to clear. There's a big joist down there. And then these are carpet shims that have been cut to fit and screwed in and glued. And basically what a carpet shim is, you're probably aware of these things. These are regular old shims. A carpet shim is just a really long version of one of those. And this one's unfortunately broken, but basically it's a long strip that lets you transition, and they make them in different widths and different heights. But you use those carpet strips or carpet shims, and you can actually create a nice gentle rise. So when you put in your flooring, grab a piece here, when you put your flooring on, it just rises up along this whole thing, and you don't have to have a big giant change. And in an old building like this from the 1820s that has a floor that's already naturally kind of bowed, you're probably not going to sense it. It's just going to look like the rest of the house. And it's nice because you can stay with the same flooring, this old school oak, white oak. So you can stay with the same flooring. It looks pretty close, and it does a nice job. The other thing here is you can see the floor actually is going the wrong direction. They started flooring here and going that way. So this is another piece that you can use. This is just a little, basically a little strip that fits inside that joint right here and allows you to reverse the direction of the floor. So now the tongue is on the correct direction for the way we want to take the floor. Just a little thing that we used in, you know, if you have an old house and you have different height floors, this should help you if you don't want to go to the extreme and tear everything up and start over. This is a nice way to kind of keep your existing floor and then butt it into, you can see linoleum over there, so lots of linoleum. So we're going to take all that up, and you can bring this existing floor in, and it'll look really nice. So I hope this helps somebody out there on the internet that's got an old house and wants to work on it. I plan on putting up some other videos. I've been rebuilding some old school windows, sash and chain and all that. So I may do some videos of that, kind of showing how that's done, because that's kind of an art that nobody does. They just dump new windows in the house and move on. But the old stuff is really nice quality, good wood, good windows, so it's worth saving some of that. All right, hope this helps.